Yo, welcome back to Warehouse Reacts, where today we are listening to Game Over by Avenged Sevenfold from their album Life is But a Dream. That came out in 2023. I have a pretty extensive knowledge and a kind of long history with this band. They are unequivocally one of my kind of top four bands. They're on my Mount Rushmore, is what I'm trying to say. Badly. They're on my Mount Rushmore of bands. I think I started listening to them when I started listening to them seriously when I was about 14 or 15. So a good long time. And they kind of shaped, or they're at least one of the bands that kind of shaped my music taste, I think. And obviously I think a lot of people come to them through like COD Zombies and stuff, me included. I was kind of one of the I'd heard Nightmare, or from Moon, and Not Ready to Die from Call of the Dead, and that kind of thing. But then, kind of growing up and listening to them album by album, I just fell in love with them, to be quite honest. And like I say, I've got a very extensive knowledge of their stuff, of their albums. I've kind of listened to their albums hundreds and hundreds of times over and over. So I'm quite well versed in this band, but I think, unfortunately, like a lot of Avenged Sevenfold fans, I was kind of shocked, probably is the word, when this album came out, because it didn't sound anything like kind of Avenged Sevenfold sounds to me. I think Avenged Sevenfold to me sounds like, I always say this, it's kind of the thing I say, but the Avenged Sevenfold sound to me is Trashed and Scattered, like that from City of Evil. Like that is when I think of Avenged Sevenfold, I think of that sound. Dueling guitars, Matt's voice, like you know what they sound like. But like I said, this kind of, I think I'd heard the singles that came out. I think I heard Nobody, and I think there was another single. It might have even been Game Over, to be honest. I can't remember at this point. Like I said, this was 3 years ago now. But I think I'd heard the singles and kind of not written it off, but yeah, just kind of, it didn't click for me, and I'm hoping that it does now. I'm kind of going into this with an open mind, with a bit more of an open mind than I did kind of the first time. But hopefully it clicks this time. But we'll see, because I really want to, like this album. I really want to, keep supporting this band through this kind of album that obviously is very, very different to everything else they put out before. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I'll jump into Game Over. I'll bring the lyrics up quickly if I can find a way to do that. There you go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Game Over by Avenged Sevenfold. Here we go. Sounds like a nylon string guitar. This kind of sounds like the stage era kind of Avenged. This kind of sound. I'm trying to find a place to pause. We'll bring it back to before that verse, I guess you could call it. I mean, like I said, the intro kind of sounded like stage era Avenged Sevenfold. Sounds like the kind of the end of the stage, the song, and maybe sort of parts of Exist, just with a kind of more atmospheric guitar and kind of orchestral sort of backgrounds. But yeah, then when it went into the kind of, I mean, the guitar sounds Avenged Sevenfoldy. It sounds kind of like thrashy, fast, that sort of thing. Matt sounds like Matt. the vocalist. But I don't know. It's very they're just odd, aren't they? The lyrics are very odd. But yeah, this daytime TV satisfies extraordinary. These hand-me-downs worn in so nice. And as it may, part of the, I guess you'd call it the chorus. That seems like a chorus. Melody was cool, but I don't know. It's just so it's strange, isn't it? It's just very strange, which is a good thing. I like kind of strange music, but I think I'm just kind of the initial shock of it is still there. But we'll pull it back a little bit and continue. This bit's really cool. Not your most typical synth solo. We're slowing down.
Strikes me that I don't belong here anymore. As I observe my own reflection, try a happy face, staring through the warm tears.
Oh, that just hit me in the face. We're blasting.
And here I swing from my family tree. Say good night. Can't you see? Life is but a dream anyway.
And then, as always, I presume that somehow goes into the next song, Mattel, which is Mattel's the toy company, is it not? I don't know if it's to do with them. I got the lyrics up there, but I'm not going to read too much into it because that's for next time maybe if I decide to do that song. Let me just turn my volume back up quickly. Yeah, I mean, if you thought the stage was progressive, then this is a kind of different level. Like I said, it really kind of smacks you in the face. It kind of goes everywhere. Like I say, I'm into very progressive stuff kind of anyway. Like I say, if you think the stage was kind of progressive, then I don't know what to tell you because this is another level. Like I say, I think I was talking about Haken as a kind of band that are the kind of what I think of when I think of kind of progressive rock, metal, that kind of music. They're the kind of top of the mountain for me. The Mountain, there you go. That's a song by them. They're the kind of top of the mountain for me for that kind of genre of kind of very eclectic, all over the place music. I'm not saying that this really compares, but just to kind of give you an idea of the kind of music that I do listen to in the kind of progressive realm. But yeah, I think, like I say, it's just the shock of Avenged Sevenfold and then this kind of progressive, weird stuff on top of it. It's quite a strange mix. but I guess I'll get used to it. Hopefully, yeah. I think that another thing is that like when this album was coming out in like 2023, I remember like I follow the guys, I follow the band on like Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and I saw, I don't know if it was Matt or other members of the band as well, but they were all sharing like NFTs and like making their own kind of like not AI, but like that kind of sort of realm. Like NFTs at the time were huge, and maybe they still are. I think they've died now. NFTs, hopefully they have anyway. But I think like so that kind of maybe tainted my initial first listen of this, because I thought they're into like NFTs and stuff now, and now they're kind of making this strange, not overly progressive, but overly progressive for what I thought the Avenged Sevenfold kind of core sound is or was. And so I think I went in with completely the wrong mindset, but I enjoyed that song. All of that is to say, I enjoyed that song a lot more than I did on the first time, and a lot more than I certainly thought I would now. So I guess I'm excited to give the rest of the album a listen. Let me know if you want me to do the rest of the album. I can see Mattel's up next. I might give that a go, but let me know if you want to hear more, if you want to see more. Yeah, thanks for watching. That was Game Over by Avenged